You know you gotta stop moving so we can zoom onto your face. Okay.
It's literally like not a lot of that. Yeah. Hi everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be making an eggless lemon and blueberry cake. So let's get started. Okay, first up we're going to make the cake batter. So in a separate bowl we're going to mix milk, coconut oil, lemon juice, and vanilla. And we're just gonna mix it. Like so. And then set it to the side. Then, in the meantime, we take another big bowl. And in here I have 3 cups of cake flour. In there we put some sugar, baking powder, and baking soda. Now if you're like a professional baker, you should sieve all these ingredients into the bowl. But if you're lazy, like me, I just put them in and then I use a fork to mix them together. So just use a fork, mix it, make sure that as you're mixing, any lumps in the flour are kind of, you're getting rid of them. And that's the oven. Getting rid of them, and then just kind of smooth out your flour. And then the zest of 1 lemon. Right, and then out of this, we're going to take all the liquid ingredients that we just mixed, pour them in here, like so. And then we're going to mix them together with my mix at the back here. For all time's sake. And this is done now. So we're gonna take this batter and then put it in, we're gonna divide it in 2 and put it in 2 baking trays. And now we're gonna take this batter and divide it between these 2 pans, exactly in half, or as close to as half as you can get. Oh, and I forgot to say, I coated the bottom of the pans with a little bit of coconut oil just to help the cake not stick to the sides. And then we're going to put these in the oven for 40 minutes. So we've preheated the oven to 325 degrees Fahrenheit. And in they go for 40 minutes. Just keep an eye on them because your oven might be weird. Alright, so the cakes are done baking and they're cooling behind me. So while they're cooling, we're gonna make the icing. So this is vanilla icing with a hint of lemon to, you know, tie in the theme of the cake. So let's get started. First up, you want a cup of butter. So this is unsalted butter at room temperature. Now, I find that when making icing, it is essential that the butter is at room temperature, because if it's too cold, it just doesn't work. So I would leave the butter out so that it can warm up and get really soft, so that it's easy to whip. Okay, so you put in 1 cup, and then we are going to whip it. So you whip it Sorry. So you whip it until it turns from yellow to white. Okay, so it's nicely whipped now, and basically you want to whip the butter for around 2 to 3 minutes, stopping now and again to scrape the sides of the bowl to make sure that all the butter is whipped nicely. All right, so next step is we're going to add icing sugar to this butter. Now, for this, I would recommend sieving the icing sugar in because you definitely don't want grainy icing, okay? So we start with 1 cup of icing sugar at a time. So I'm gonna measure 1 cup and then sieve it into the bowl with the butter. Have that, and then you just sieve this in. Okay, so that's 1 cup finally, and then we're gonna whip it again. Sorry. So here we have our vanilla icing, and I use 2 cups of icing sugar in here. So again, whip the butter, put in a cup, whip it for a minute again, making sure that you scrape the sides to make sure all the sugar is in, and then add the other cup and then do the same, whip it again. So I find 2 cups is perfect. It makes it sweet enough. However, if you like it even sweeter, you can add more sugar. So up to 5 cups is probably good enough. And then if it gets too thick, you can add a dash of milk to make it the right consistency. Okay, now the final step is we're going to fold in some vanilla, and then we're also going to fold in some lemon juice. And the final step is to assemble the cake. So for the cake, we have, of course, our cake, the icing that we just made, and then I also made a blueberry compote. So for the compote recipe, you can check out our homemade granola video. I'll put the link in the description box below, and you can make compote from there. So let's get assembling. All right, so we take the first layer of our cake, we put some icing on top. There's an occasion to be very artistic and really pretty, and then there's every other occasion is just to be kind of rustic and messy. So today is one of those days. Okay, so we're just gonna ice it as best we can with a nice thick layer of icing. This is the iced cake, messy but delicious looking, which is the point. This is gonna sound really cheesy, but I love that the blueberry compote has created this like ombre effect, marble effect on the cake. It actually looks really good. I'm impressed. Okay, and then as a final step, we're gonna add some of the compote on top of here. So I don't want too much juice, so I'm using a spoon that will drain some of the juice out. Just put it on top, like so. Maybe a wee bit more. And there you have it. There's your there's your blueberry eggless, blueberry lemon cake. I hope you try this recipe out. Please let us know if you do, and we would love to see your pictures of this cake. And I will see you next time. Ciao.